Hello humans, and welcome to this Xbox Features Game episode. As you know, the Xbox Game Pass is the best value in gaming today. It does so, giving us great content all year long. Let's see what game we have on deck today. On today's episode, this show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello humans, and welcome to another episode of Gen X Gamer, Star Wars Squadron. Oh wow. Well guys, if you want to hear a nice Star Wars story from the 80s about good times and, you know, just feeling nostalgic, you came to the wrong video, because there's none of that here. One of the things that I thought when I started my channel is, I was thinking, man, didn't these guys ever had bad times? Anybody that spoke about video games was talking about what a great time they had, and you know, and their childhood was great and all that stuff. Well, my childhood was not great. It wasn't completely terrible, but it wasn't a particular happy one for the most part. And there's certain things that come to mind when I see certain things, Star Wars being one of them, right? And yeah, man, when I reflected on the channels that I was watching, I was thinking, man, nobody ever says sad stories of maybe things that they were going through when, you know, something came out or something happened. When Star Wars came out, I was living abroad, and I was in a country of conflict, where there was conflict, and eventually we came back here to the U.S., and I was born here in the U.S. And I remember one of the things that really stuck to me when I got back here was the commercials on Saturday mornings, and a lot of them had to do with Star Wars action figures, Kenner. You know, and I always wanted to have the Luke Skywalker, you know, and Han Solo was another one of my favorites, you know, and I want to have a X-Wing fighter and a TIE fighter, and I wanted to have those toys, you know, I mean, just like any other little kid. And I remember that first Christmas, you know, coming here and coming to a poor Latin neighborhood and sitting around with friends, you know, and talking about what we wanted, what was going to be and what wasn't. And I think I was a little bit more immature at that time. You know, I still had fantasies in my head that maybe somehow, some way, things are going to happen and things are going to turn around, and we weren't going to be in the horrible situation that we were. I remember asking my friend, like, what he was going to get for Christmas, is if he had asked for you know, an action figure for Star Wars. And he looked at me, you know, and he just said, "What are you talking about? We're poor." Like, you know, if I was talking nonsense, you know. And until that particular moment, I never considered myself poor. I know it sounds kind of weird, but, you know, I was just a kid, and I didn't know, I didn't have labels for people at that point. I was completely ignorant about economics, and just the way I was raised, it's just not something that I thought about. And I remember talking that day, you know, it was getting close to Christmas, and realizing and talking about the situation we were in, and that we were poor, you know, and that we weren't going to get anything, you know, anything close to Star Wars figures at all. Now, let me tell you guys, I mean, the school we went to, there was obviously kids that had plenty of Star Wars toys, you know, and they'd let you know it, and they'd bring them to school and stuff like that, and some of them would get beat up because of the kind of neighborhood it was. But yeah, you know, I mean, I remember having a conversation with my friend, and at that point, it was one of the deepest conversations I ever had with somebody else, you know. I mean, how many deep conversations should you have when you're 12 years old? But yeah, man, and at the end of it, we were okay. You know, we were okay knowing that Christmas was gonna be what we expected. But one of the reasons we were talking about it is because there was a newspaper, you know, and there was the advertisings in it, you know, the inserts that they have, and a lot of it had to do with toys. And you know, when I looked at this game, the first thing I thought of was back in the day, you know, how much we used to play of being in X-Wing fighters and the TIE fighters, you know, and making the sounds and running around. And we were okay with that. You know, especially after that conversation, we laughed about it. You know, we laughed about how we weren't gonna get shit, basically. And it was okay, you know, and right now there's a lot of people that don't have a lot of things, you know, and they're going through hard times. And what I learned that day is to appreciate the things that I did have. You know, I didn't have the toys that I wanted, nor was I going to have them. But I had my friend, you know, and I had those good times with them there. And boy, were they great times. You know, it made the situation I was in better. Having a friend, you know, it was even better than having the toy. And if you're in a bad situation now, especially in this pandemic, remember that you do have friends. And it's better than having toys or money or whatever it is that you think that you don't have now, because those things eventually you can get, right? And the other thing is that the perspective, you know, one of the things, or one of my goals in my channel is to just give you a different perspective from an older gamer. For some of you, this game, you see it and it's just another game, right? It's just another game that came out, and it's EA, and you know, you complain about the price, you complain about the game, complain. Well, for a lot of people in my generation, this is a dream come true. This, you know, the closest thing that we could get to playing a video game, a Starfighter, was a shitty old 2600 port of The Empire Strikes Back, which was just atrocious. For starters, the best thing that was out there was that vector-based Star Wars game, which was the best one, by the way. And that was it. You know, if you're a true kid of the 80s and a big Star Wars fan, this game is a big deal to you, even if you won't admit it outwardly. But if you have a dad, for example, that is a huge Star Wars fan, you buy him this game, I promise you, he will enjoy it. You will enjoy the crap out of this game. And yeah, man, I do. I mean, it was surreal. And while I was playing it, I was thinking about those memories all those years ago, you know, when we knew we weren't going to get shit for Christmas. Especially weren't getting any Star Wars figures, you know. But realizing that we had things that were better, more important in our lives, and being thankful that we had each other as friends. Eventually, you move away, you lose the friends, but you know, you still keep the memories. And wherever my buddy's at, I hope that he's staying blessed. I lost track of him. You know, his family moved back to Mexico, and you know, I just lost touch. But he was a great friend to have as a kid. You couldn't ask for more. He was a great soul, a wiser soul than me. I was the more mature one at that point. He's the one that made me realize that, yeah, we didn't have a lot, you know, but we had friendship, and we were poor. He made me realize that we were poor and accept the situation that we were in, but that it was going to be okay, that we were going to get through it, and we were going to, you know, live another day. And if you're out there struggling, man, remember, you're going to live another day. You're going to get through this. So count your blessings. All right, humans, remember, never ever be afraid to be happy. Thank you for coming to this bonus video, and I will catch you on the next one. Take care.
Thank you for joining me on another episode of the Gen X Gamer. Remember to like and subscribe, click the notification bell, and remember, never be afraid to be happy. We'll catch you on the next one. Take care.